There we go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm just skipping right to the nitty gritty here. Five, four, three, twos, ones,
And we're on. Okay. I had a hold up. Good evening, everyone. You're listening to the Intimacy Chronicles. I am your host, Queen Jackie, and to my right, kind of looking somber as hell, and I need him to snap out of that shit because I'm not with this bullshit tonight. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm bullshit. My name is Bullshit, and I'm somber tonight. What's going on? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Big Nate, a.k.a. Dr. Love. What's happening?
And Jim Crow has just left the building.
Just left the fucking building.
So, now, before I kind of dive in,
Weekend was good. Weekend was good. Go and dive.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of wound up right now because, you know, we've been talking about the election, and Mr. Sensational feels like Ben Jealous didn't campaign enough. And Hogan seemed to have gotten his message out there. Well, I'm going to say with regards to that maybe Ben started a little too late. But then again, I'm not sure. I think with us having so much information at our fingertips, I'm going to disagree with that statement. We can look up the fucking sex positions on YouTube, the internet, and all this other shit, but we can't take the time out to do our research on political candidates and how, if a particular person gets in office, how that will impact our community. Do we even know what we stand for, what we're looking for in a candidate? So when I hear somebody say, I don't know enough about this person, well, do your fucking research.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
That's how I feel about that. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because Mr. Sensational always knows how to get me wound up. But I really have a problem with that because I did my research. I knew what he stood for. So if I could do my due diligence...
We're talking about Ben.
We're talking about Ben. Mm-hmm. And was I disappointed that he didn't win? Absolutely, because I got to spend time with him and understand what he could have done for Maryland. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like it's time to shake some shit up. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm tired of the same old fucking politics, man. You know, I think the problem that I had with our community is that we vote on familiarity, not so much who's going to benefit us the most. It's about the person that we see right now, and meanwhile, you know, they fucking us without the Vaseline. But what do I know?
I mean, it goes to show, okay, you know, a lot of people feel like, what's the need of voting? The person who you wanted to win didn't get it. Okay, that may be true. But at the same token, you know, it's good that everybody did vote, you know, to get out there and do what you needed to do, you know. But I was for Ben Jealous because, you know, we can talk about this and talk about that in Baltimore City. The only fucking thing that matters to me is them fucking schools. That's the only thing that matters to me.
And might I point out that the schools not having any heat happened on Hogan's watch. But
you know,
what do I know?
Well, the schools didn't have no air. Fell on Hogan's watch.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, that's the only thing that matters to me is these schools. Mm-hmm. Having better schools, different activities for these kids to find and idolize their time. You know what I'm saying? When the fucking casino, see, I don't want to get wound up.
Wound up.
When
When
the fucking casino was built, that was supposed to be money revenue for the fucking schools. Everybody had their hand out when this bitch got built. Now these motherfuckers are down there spending money. Where the fuck is the money at going for the schools? So basically, all you people who voted for Hogan, fuck you.
Now I'm not gonna say that because
I'm this coming from me.
Okay,
the reason being
okay.
is because if nothing else matters in Baltimore City to you, it should be about the schools. He didn't give a shit about the schools. Period. I'm sorry. He didn't give a shit about the schools. If you have a child that's going to school, that should have been your main concern. If you have a grandchild, a nephew, a niece, cousin, or anybody that's going to these schools and have schools that don't have heat, have schools that don't have air, have schools that don't have this, have schools that don't have that, got to shut down early for this, got to shut down early for that. We may get hit with a fucking blizzard this year where can't nobody fucking move.
You bet.
Can't nobody fucking move. Then what's the fuck gonna happen? So, yes, that's the way that I feel about it. I don't like Hogan. I don't support Hogan. Not because of his color, but because if you took the person out of office that was in there and you pumped up that you were going to do for the schools, and you turn around and you got in office and didn't do for the schools, I got a real problem with that. Now the schools are lacking. They're lacking. And a school with no heat, that's an issue. A school with no air, when we was hit with 101, 102 degrees this past summer, that's an issue. I really believe it's an issue. So if you don't give a fuck about the schools, fuck you.
Wow. And as you can see, we're a bit wound up. I'm not going to say, I do believe that everybody has a right to choose their candidate. But I want you to choose on what you know, on your research. Let me say that. I don't feel like because somebody is familiar that they have earned your vote. I feel like do your research. Look at their record, what they've done so far, and if you're satisfied with their record, then by all means, vote for them. But if you're voting because you were too damn lazy to get up off your ass to do research on another candidate, then I have a problem with that. And you are part of the problem. So what was interestingly enough, Hogan's rate in our community increased, because again, he was what people were familiar with. Nobody bothered to do the research on Ben. And that's my take on it. And I think that happens not just here, but all throughout the country if the candidate is familiar and our people are too lazy to do research. That's my stance on that. And when I see other African Americans support a candidate because of their pockets being aligned, I have a problem with that too. Because if your pockets outweigh the needs of the community, then you're also part of the problem. And that's my stance on that. So, I have a guest with me tonight, and I am curious to hear her point of view on the outcome of the election. And by the way, I want to thank you for having me at UMBC, and
no problem.
You can introduce yourself and tell your position and your status at the school.
Okay, my name is Deja Stewart. I am the president of the Black Student Union at UMBC. That's University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So what? Because I really appreciate the rally that was done for Ben. Why did you all choose him as the candidate?
Well, from his background, he was basically, I felt like out of the two, more for the people. He was head of NAACP. He was leaders in his Black Student Union at his colleges. And I felt although we're not allowed to endorse a candidate,
Right.
I feel like this would be a great place for him to give his views and get like the younger people to vote.
Right.
So I think that a lot of people, especially when you're in college, you feel like you're not as invested and you don't have the time to go, like you said, to go look it up. Well,
Right.
he's here coming to you, so now there's no excuse
Exactly.
for you to not come and at least hear what he has to say. So yeah, definitely someone who looks like us and has been fighting for what the same similar things that we need and want. He's from the area, and he said he lived, wherever, but he would spend his summers in Baltimore.
Right. Yeah.
So definitely a better person to come and speak to us and give their side of their campaign.
Yeah. How did you feel about the outcome of the election?
I'm not going to say I was surprised because when I was telling people about the rally, especially I have a younger cousin who just turned like 18, so not necessarily expecting her to know, but like people, I'm like, well, we having a rally for Ben Jealous there. Who's Ben Jealous? So some people didn't necessarily know who he was.
Right.
And that might be because of like he didn't have as big of a reach because like you said, people were familiar and some people didn't even know who Logan was actually in like my circle of my age group. So I think that I'm not saying I'm surprised, but I was definitely disappointed because he fought a good fight and he was touring places that I feel like Logan would not go.
Exactly.
So, and he was talking to people that were in communities that I could definitely be in or was familiar with. So colleges I know he did like a college tour, like I think he did Towson as well. He did in Baltimore at the what at the park, was it Wilson?
The Gwynn Oak. He was Gwynn Oak Park.
Yeah,
Saturday.
Gwynn Oak. Yeah. So he was in areas where like actual people are and not just like on TV. He was doing groundwork.
Yeah.
So he seemed very invested in communities that he wanted to help, which were communities that
have suffered a lot.
That I go to school in, I lived in, stuff like that.
Yeah. The amazing thing to me, getting back to being familiar, and as you said, a lot of people had never heard of him. Again, we have so much information at our fingertips. We look up the dumbest shit sometimes. And you're telling me that you can't take time out your day to look up a candidate that we're going to have for the next 4 years. I think that's absolutely irresponsible and lazy. So it'll be interesting to see what the next 4 years bring, but definitely I was disappointed in our community. Because I know that a lot of people voted because he was the familiar candidate. Ben, I think that he was personable. I think that Hogan, in my opinion, became probably he campaigned more in certain communities because of the election. But I always feel like Ben is a person that you can go to and he genuinely cares about his community. I think his record shows that he genuinely cares about his community. And I wish that more of us would have taken the time to do our research. The outcome we have is the lack of effort that we put out. So if I sound a little pissed off, I am pissed off. So I gotta read this about me and mine. Yes, we are in need of free college, at least community college. Ben was for that. And see, that was one of the other issues that I was sold on. It bothers me that when students graduate from school, they have a mountain of debt before they even secured a job. And I always felt like, they are held prisoner by this debt. So if he was going to be the candidate to change that, then I think that in itself would have been worth doing your research and voting him in office. I think that when you start thinking about families in the communities, one of the other things he said was no family gets left behind. I don't ever remember a candidate for governor saying that. And so many families are left behind when you take a look at some of these communities. What programs are put into place for the community? And now that Hogan has another term, what's going to change? What is he going to do different? You know, because really he doesn't have to do much of nothing because he has this second term and he's not going to be voted back in, but he can actually do some major damage. You know what I mean? He has nothing to lose. So are we going to hold him accountable now that you put him in office? Are we going to hold him accountable for some of the promises that he made? You know, that's going to be the next thing. Like, who's going to check him? Because
he's definitely going to be on a chopping block.
Yeah, but we vote people in, and once they get in there, we don't hold them accountable for the promises that they've made.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I have a problem with that too. Hi, Lonnie. It's crazy to me, and not to be on my soapbox, but that's how I feel. So I want to know, for all those people that voted Hogan back in office, are you actually going to take the time to hold him accountable for his promises? You don't have to answer right now. You can inbox me. You can email me at she'sthequeen@queenjackie.net. But now it's time to get to work and hold him accountable.
But see, this is the way I feel. Like, okay, when he first got in office and said this and said that or whatever, when the first year or the first going into the second year, those who nominated him in office, why y'all didn't hold him accountable then?
Yeah.
Why wait until he get into his second term to say, oh, now we're going to start holding you accountable because you ain't do nothing for the past 4 years? No, you should have held him accountable on the things that he said he was going to do when he first got in office. Mm-hmm. So now he's in there for a second term, ain't did nothing on the first term. Now everybody want to, well, now we need to hold him accountable. No, you should have held him accountable the first time.
But not just Hogan, but other candidates that are in office. We have to reclaim our communities and do a better job of holding them accountable. Our vote is valuable. So if I can't call my delegate or senator, or I can call them and they don't return my calls, that's both problems is on my end and on their end. But they need to understand that they work for me. And if I'm not going to hold that person accountable, then I am also a part of the problem.
I think that one of the reasons why he did get voted back is because people, especially us, have a tendency to say if we don't see anything wrong, then it's okay. Not necessarily if we don't see improvement, but just, oh, he didn't mess up, so we can vote him back. And also because O'Malley did so like trash, people are like, well, it wasn't trash, so that's okay.
That's true. But
that's settling. We, like you said, we still have to take. He said he was going to do this. He needs to do it, and also not just what they say they're going to do. As a community, we need to have them promise more specifically for the Black community.
Exactly.
Because I feel like a lot of times, a lot of people promise things for every other community except for us. So whether it be for immigration, whether it be for LGBTQ rights, that's great. Everyone should have rights.
Of course.
But what specifically are you going to do for Black communities, urban communities that I live in? Because you promised them reform, but like you said, we still don't have heat in Baltimore schools where mostly Black children are. Or we don't have proper transportation, or the transportation that you have in is not free for like students going to school in areas that don't have necessarily school bus access transportation. So I think people get complacent and they say, well, we'll let the dust settle and he hasn't messed up, so maybe I'll just, he's been under the radar, so they haven't had a chance. But the fact that nothing's changed is just as bad as him messing up, because if things are bad and nothing's changed, then that's a clear sign that he either doesn't care or has his priorities not set on us or the most needy groups.
But after 4 years?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that's good.
It's not, but
Yeah,
but
no,
again, I agree with her point because
I agree too.
yeah, I mean after 4 years, okay. That said, after 4 years, what are we doing to make them want to work for us? They don't want to work for us because they know we're lazy. We're not going to do any research. We're not going to push the issues that they promised. And I have to read about me and mine's comment. Hogan is about the rich counties and their purple line, like the so-called investigation into the misappropriated school funding he gave then took back. I mean, those are issues that our community need to be concerned about, and yet we're not. We'll spend our money at the Horseshoe Casino, and don't get me wrong, I like to gamble too, but we are not questioning where that money is going. One of the reasons that they sold the Horseshoe Casino on us or to us was because the money from that casino was supposed to go into the school system. The same with the lottery. The lottery is supposed to invest a certain amount of dollars into the city school system. I do know that some of that money is being put into Baltimore County school system, but is money actually going into the city school system? Because if in fact it is, then why in the hell did we have schools with no heat?
One of the things, Sandy Hook happened in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
That next following year, I believe it was 2013, Maryland already had some of the strictest gun laws in the state, but Maryland passed laws specifically against AR-15s, which is what was used the next year. So if you can, like you said, 4 years, if you can pass that type of law within the next year, because that's important to you, then you can clearly pass other laws or get things on the ball rolling. Mm-hmm. The fact that in 4 years you haven't done anything means that you just don't want to.
Exactly.
When it's for a community, Sandy Hook's not in Maryland, and they still made these laws and passed them, and it was important to them.
Yeah.
But for other things and other communities, that's not a problem, because the laws themselves are not necessarily the problem in Maryland, as you can see, because they're strict gun laws. So how did guns still get here?
Yeah. So
you're not focusing on the things that matter to us, but you're worried about other things that don't necessarily affect us as much.
Exactly.
Marylanders or African Americans.
Yeah. And doesn't the responsibility still comes back in our corner? Yeah. Key says they are ready to give the Baltimore City Police Department $12 million though. They are ready to do that because, again, that's an issue that's important to them. Now, in that $12 million, are they going to retrain officers? Because we seem to be the brunt of the police brutality. So how much of that money is going towards retraining officers? You know, that's what I'm curious about. What she says about me and mine says that it's supposed to settle all the overtime that the officers are clocking and supposedly reform existing and new officers. Well, that's what they say, and I think that remains to be seen. I think it's a way of justifying what they say the money is going towards, but I kind of don't believe that it will. But we'll see. Today coming in, it was a disturbing sight for me. I saw an older man pulled over in a car. 5 police cars on that man, and it's just him in the car. And I'm nosy, you know, so I pulled over because I wanted to make sure that nothing went wrong. Not that I could report it. I mean, I had my phone, but I just felt like that was such a waste of manpower. You know, that you got 5 cars on one older gentleman. And I'm not saying that he couldn't have committed a crime, but that was a hell of a lot of manpower.
That's how they get all that overtime.
Exactly. That's, oh my God, like it blew my mind. So, yeah. It's a lot of things that I find kind of disturbing, but this past election was just like, we're still voting him back in, and why? So I was stuck on that, you know. and maybe I was a little sour, that Ben didn't win. And I'll take ownership in that.
You jealous?
But yeah, I was jealous. And when I saw certain commercials of people in our community endorsing him, I think I became a bit livid because I knew the motive behind it. So yeah, but that's new. I'm not calling anybody out, but I've had this conversation, and I'm probably going to move on from that because
There was some celebrities there, weren't there?
yeah, Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, so we had some good pictures, didn't we?
Yeah, I got some good pictures. I'm surprised he was so because he was taking a lot of pictures.
Oh yeah,
too. Even
definitely.
Ben's pretty more approachable than I thought he would be.
Oh, he really is. Yeah.
But he was like, every time somebody tapped him, he was, oh yeah, sure, I'll take a picture.
Yeah.
So I was surprised. And the Rosario,
yeah,
she was very approachable. She was talking to everybody. She even stopped one of my friends from stepping in the post. She said, oh baby, watch this. So they were very homely. They were very approachable. I really like that. And that could have been the whole Maryland family. Dave Chappelle probably would have been down here all the time.
Yeah.
But
I think the thing that was interesting that stood out about that was he's never endorsed anyone. So even though that's his god brother, he believed in him that much to join the campaign trail. That was impressive because he's never endorsed anyone. So, and getting to know Ben, he is I think one of probably the most honest people you probably ever want to meet. I think when you're talking to him, right then and there that what he says is what he means. So but again, I'm gonna move on from that because I probably done pissed some people off. Not that I care, because this is my show, so I'm at liberty to give my opinion and say what I want to say. But that's how I feel. It doesn't, my views, I gotta do this disclaimer because I don't want him coming in here yelling. These are my views. I don't speak for this station, but these are definitely my views, and I stand behind what I say. So, well, with that comment about me and mine says, well, Amazon and the Koch brothers gotta have a puppet and political power here. How about that? Thank you. The feeling is shared and mutual. I appreciate that. Thank you, Keys. What your people saying?
Ain't nobody said nothing. I guess they're
listening to me on my soapbox and okay, she's wound up, so I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna bring it back down.
Nobody really saying nothing.
I'm gonna bring it back down, and we're gonna have a light conversation. We're gonna get into relationships and sex, kind of one of our favorite topics. But since we have a college student here, let me just ask, how in the college community are you all educating each other on the practices of safe sex? Is it just a big orgy, or what happens on the college campus?
So college is where I found out how the public school system has failed sex ed wise.
Sex ed, I agree. Oh my God!
Especially some of the way some of the dudes talk.
Yeah.
It's just you could not have learned that in somebody's school. Somebody had to tell you that. As far as oh yeah, I'll just wear 2 condoms. That work. That's not how.
Yeah.
None of that works. It's basically because I went to community college first, so even real college is new to me. So when I got there, it's basically UMBC. First of all, it's a PWI. It's not a HBCU, so it's predominantly white. So that makes it different in itself because I've been to mostly all black schools.
Okay. But
it's exactly how I feel like TV shows make it to be, just because it's mostly white school, and it's different. They live different, and they everybody thinks it's like a Degrassi episode.
Okay.
Like they just think it's supposed to be drama when it's never. It has to be that deep. But yeah, it's definitely a very, especially because UMBC is a very small campus, so people get bored easily, and when they get bored, they either do drugs or they do each other. So it's exactly it's mostly what they think it is.
But you educated me on something that I didn't know about UMBC and when it was built and why it was built off the road. I was like, wow, that was pretty fascinating.
Yeah, so it was built. It wasn't always that big in that circle, but the main parts, it was built in the 60s when like civil rights and other like basically the hippie era, and a lot of people were protesting or rioting, so they built it to make it less like navigatable. So there'll be a stairs, and then there'll be like a platform, and then more stairs, just so that people can't rush to get someplace. There's no center part of campus, so people can't congregate and hold riots, or because usually when you protest you go to the center of campus, so they made no center campus. They made so like a lot of the buildings, if there's 5 floors, all the 4th floors connect. Like you can walk all the way across, but the 5th floors don't connect. So they just made it confusing on purpose to prevent riots and to prevent protesting and anyone like congregating in one specific area.
Gotcha. Now that building that we were in, are there dorms in that building?
Commons is just like the restaurants, and they have like student lounge areas and stuff like that. Like we have the women's center. There's a mosaic center, which is supposed to be like the diverse center. It's not. They don't really do as much as maybe the women's center does. But a lot of where they have a Flat Tuesdays, that used to be the little bar, but they only serve like off-brand wine and beer. And then they close because not a lot of people on that campus like drink on campus. They drink like liquor. They're not drinking the little wine coolers. But yeah, it's mostly just the congregation area. The dorms, I think they have like 2 dorms and mostly apartments, because we're mostly a commuter campus. Like I commute, so they're like 60% commuters or something crazy. That's another reason why the campus is so dry, because a lot of people don't stay on campus.
No panty raids?
No, that. They have like and also we have like a lot of adult learners. So that means people over 25. And a lot of military. So there's a lot of, like I had one guy in my class who was like 40 something. So it's a lot of people who are just going because they got like their GI Bills or whatever. They don't want to stay on campus, and I wouldn't want to like dorm with like a 45. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty dry.
What's wrong with a 45?
It just in the dorm.
I'm not saying I'm 45.
I mean, if you're like 21,
twin XL bed, the twin beds.
Yeah,
no,
right.
You gotta go ask somebody. Can you use their washing machine? It's just a lot.
Yeah.
Especially.
You ain't heard of that song? Get them to know you. Get them to know all about you.
That's too up close and personal.
No. That's a real chauvinistic comment you just made about the 45.
You and your feelings?
No.
You're not 45.
No. I was just looking out for my 45 was out there.
Wouldn't be anything in common, but wouldn't it probably be like very little?
Very little.
Yeah.
And then you got to share a room, especially in a dorm. They probably wouldn't make you stay in a dorm, maybe one of the apartments. But even still, it's probably, honestly, it's cheaper to stay off campus, because it's like, first of all, if you live in a dorm, you're required to have a meal plan, and some of them the minimum one is like $2,000, and the food is not that good for you to spend $2,000. And then for like the apartments is like $10,000 for 2 semesters. You might as well get a apartment or a whole townhouse off campus close by.
Yeah. So you stay in the area?
I stay near Fort Meade, so I commute.
Oh, that's
damn.
Yeah.
That's like 20 minutes. I drive pretty fast. It's only like 25 minutes.
You heard that, right? Y'all,
but then she has to get there early.
Get the fuck off the road when she coming through.
Oh yeah, that parking is ridiculous. They keep building all these science buildings. They need to build some more garages,
parking,
and especially for everybody to be driving there. They need more parking.
Yeah.
But if I don't get there early, sometimes I don't go.
Yeah.
Teachers have canceled class because there's no parking. They I couldn't find a spot, so I'm going.
I believe it. I mean, I started thinking $2 an hour. You know, that's. I couldn't imagine being a student and having to pay $2 an hour.
That's not really bad though.
It's not bad, but it's a lot. It's $2 for an hour.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, but okay.
That's my lottery money.
But then you ain't guaranteed to win.
That's all right.
But you guarantee parking.
That's a good
I'm just
point,
saying.
but you got to play to win.
I'm just saying.
So I'm not in the game if I'm not playing.
You guarantee the fucking park. Yeah.
So no, since there are probably not a lot of people staying on campus, no big parties or...
No, and if they do big parties, they're usually off campus.
Okay.
Like, we have some of the Divine Nine, so we got, like, the Sigmas.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of their stuff off campus, and that's where you can actually, like, drink how you want.
Okay.
And do what you want, because when you're on campus, the party's free, but it's whack. Like, you get,
Don't
like,
go to UMBC.
a standard DJ. I mean, for education, they're great.
Party
That's why.
Right,
suck
yeah,
ass.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then we just, like, for real, you can just go to Morgan or Bowie.
Yeah.
Because I live closer to Bowie, so if you want a party, you can go to UMD, Morgan, or Bowie, and then actually get the education. And they have a lot of free food on campus a lot. Like, there's almost always pizza.
Okay.
And so, yeah, education-wise, it's cool. If you're looking for a party school, that's not it. If you're looking for the college experience, that's not it. Our biggest club on campus is the Plants vs. Zombies club. Okay. So they like shoot each other with the Nerf gun. Yeah, like it's that type of like place. It's not.
Well, that's.
It's where all the kids in the class, they were like the introverts.
Okay.
Like they all went to the same school and they were having a blast together, just like doing weird stuff. All the kids that you think might, shoot up a school. They all went to the same school together and are having the time of their lives.
Okay.
So the people, the kind of like weird kids or the nerd kids, they all just stationed at UMBC.
Okay.
So that's the type of clubs that get the most play. Is like the video games, like Mario Kart clubs, stuff like that. We don't even have a football team. I didn't know that when I applied.
Okay.
When I got there is when I found out.
They had a basketball team.
Yeah, they have a basketball team.
Okay.
No football. And the president said he'll never get one.
That's interesting.
Also, while we're driving, we don't have the tailgates.
Okay.
Because there's no football.
Wow.
No major rats.
That's interesting.
That sucks.
So this is your third year
at UMBC.
At UMBC, okay. And why did you join the student body? The
Black
president.
Yeah, Black Student Union. So when I got there, they were a bit dry. They had been a bit dry for a couple of years. So my first year, I went to all the meetings, but I wasn't on the board. I didn't participate. The second year, I was an ambassador. So I did like Facebook and I did all the flyers for them because I do graphic design. And then my third year, this year, I decided to be president because I was like, I can do this. Like, if this is all that y'all doing, I can make this better. And my minor is Africana Studies, so I figured we could do a lot more in Baltimore for the community and like just make our presence known on campus and like do actual stuff for Black people and make it a more Black org. So I changed the logo. I changed our like slogan. I wrote us a whole new constitution so that we could actually be about something and not just be like dry basically. Like my last year, towards the end of the semester, we had like 10 people at general body meetings, and there's at least 400 younger people, Black people that could come to the meeting. So I was like, there's no way we only got 10 people at the meetings. So I was just trying to make a change and make it better. And I'm graduating next year, so at least they'll have the groundwork to be better.
Okay.
Years later.
You had a lot of students participate though in the rally, which I thought was impressive. Yeah.
So you setting grounds that way. After you graduate, you can come back.
I'm not coming back. I'll get out of college. I've been here too long.
No, I'm just saying, sometimes, you may want to come back and, one day tell your kids, I used to run this bitch.
I might do that, but
yeah, right.
I was the ambassador of this bitch.
Yeah, you definitely
president of this bitch. You see these laws? I laid the motherfuckers.
But actually, Ben Jackson was the first gubernatorial candidate to ever come to UMBC.
Wow.
So we made that history. No one has ever made a stop at
That's
UMBC.
amazing.
And the Black Student Union did it. So they can't tell us nothing about nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about from no white org saying, oh, they're not really present on campus. No, we got somebody here. What y'all do? You didn't do that. So
you're starting all right.
We got bragging rights.
Yeah, okay. But that's a big accomplishment. Then you also had, what's his name? Delegate Everall. Did you know he was coming?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting because he runs that district. And I think that was his first time stepping into that school. And I'm like, if you run this district, why the hell is it your first time stepping into that college?
Oh, that was the shorter white guy that talked before?
Right.
Yeah, no, nobody knew he was coming. He just stopped by. Yeah, I'm not originally from Baltimore, so I didn't know that's where he was from. But yeah, that's crazy that he's never stepped foot in the school.
That was like I don't even think I would have shared that fact.
Yeah.
I think he just got so caught up in what he was saying, but and I think he's been an official for the last few years, and I'm like, this is your first time? I would have never said that, because that to me was embarrassing.
Makes you look bad.
It makes you look bad. But I get it, you're politicking, just in case this guy takes office. You want to have your foot in good, but I wouldn't have shared that fact. And I'm actually, I got to do my research on him, because I want to know what has he done for the community. Now that you have it and it's your first time stepping into UMBC, what have you done for that community? Because I think that's a rich community too.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
he said that openly.
He said that he had never been in that school.
I know. I probably would have been like, "You hear this shit?"
I think he was caught up in the moment. I think once he released it, he couldn't take it back. I think sometimes you have to be mindful of being excited, because you might disclose some information that you have no business sharing.
At that point, when he said that little,
I was like, I would not have said that.
Kazoo was on the side of his shoulders like, "You fucked up again, dum-dum." You stuck your foot in your mouth this time, dum-dum.
You're right about Myanmar. Higginsville does have money. And perhaps he feels like because that area has money, it's not necessary for him to come to UMBC.
Which that's a foul way of thinking.
I agree, but he was the only person that was caught out there saying that. So, but I don't think he came to Gwen Oak. I'm pretty sure he didn't come to Gwen Oak, because I didn't see him. So, yeah. So, tell me, being a college student, are you currently in a relationship?
Mm-mm.
Okay. And is it because you're focused on studies, or just it's not like a priority?
Well, I was in a relationship for a pretty long time. So, right now I'm almost done school, and because I'm like really busy, I don't have time to be, I guess, that invested.
Okay.
And also UMBC is pretty slim pickings, because it's not a lot of necessarily it's a lot of black people on campus, but it's just not good.
Don't you just say it ain't no cute guys on campus?
I mean, it's like she's saying
you keep beating around the motherfucking bush and shit.
Listen, I don't know who's listening to
this. It ain't no good motherfucking guys there.
You can just be open as you can.
I'm not saying it's not a lot. There's a select few cute people on campus, but sometimes they just don't be about like what I'm about.
Y'all on
like
different pages.
Some of them will vote for Hogan, and I can't.
So is that a deal breaker? Because if you all don't share the same political views, is that a deal breaker?
Well, if I'm in a relationship with you, not necessarily political views, but I'm very about the black community and stuff like that. And if that's not the page you on, that's not going to work, because that's almost all I do. And if you on some, what about black on black crime, or why can't they raise the money for the heat? I don't have time.
That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I don't have time. And a lot of them are not necessarily on that. It's just they're not as educated, or we have a heavy immigrant population, from Nigeria and stuff, and to no fault of their own, a lot of them don't really know about segregation. Or,
right.
Like
right.
I used to work over by security, the plasma place off the front. Oh, let me not name drop them, but they So I worked with a African girl, and I had on a shirt that said like Tubman University, Harriet Tubman, and she was like, "Oh, where is that?" I was like, "Oh, it's not a real school. It's from Harriet Tubman." She's like, "Who is that?" So they don't have the same necessarily like information. It's just I just need somebody on a specific page, and if you're not on that page, I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing to get on that page. Just especially not in college. I got plenty of time.
Yeah,
so let me ask this question then. You know, we on this topic. So let's say if a guy does approach you, and let's say he's all about the black community, he's a fighter. You can tell him he's like a young Barack Obama.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You lit up on
lit
that.
the fuck up, man. Okay, but he talking like, yeah, you know, I'm just saying, you know, and
he got accent.
You know, nah.
You like accent?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't mind accent.
Nah, he ain't got no accent.
Yeah.
Oh, so
you know
where you from?
My bubble too.
I'm from the DMV. I was raised in PG County.
PG.
Yeah, I was born in DC.
Well, why you raised back like that?
Yeah. So let's say if he talking now because I know where she is. I gotta talk her lingo.
Oh my God.
So what? So now, okay. So he look like Barack Obama. He's all about the black community, but he up there talking about, yeah, man, why you keep lunching? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Why you keep lunching? You know what I'm saying? Or is that a deal breaker?
Because he talked like with an accent. Is that what you?
No,
said?
That's not no accent. He just talking that street talk.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all. That is not a deal breaker.
That's not a deal breaker.
No, that actually might
all
be better.
All because you're for the black community, huh?
No, that might be better because like okay, like I don't have a heavy accent, but my parents definitely do, and like where I grew up, a lot of people do. So it's not a problem with me that you have an accent. I would actually be more turned off if you like didn't have some accent of some kind or could coast like so when I get upset my accent comes out a lot more, or when I'm home I say a lot more of the words, because if I say like you lunching, y'all some people are not gonna understand it.
That's true.
So like, but even if you from Baltimore, you talk like you from Baltimore when you around your like people, as long as you can code switch, that's fine. But if we at like if you meet like Ben Jealous and you like it is dummy, like you can't call him that. I'm not. That's gonna be a turn off for me.
Yeah,
but if we in the house chilling, you just gotta know when to turn off and when you know.
I agree.
Like around the corner somewhere, you talking like that. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I agree with you because you do have to know how to shut it off.
Yeah.
You know, all conversations isn't for everybody. You know, is it? I think you answered that question. About Me and Mine says. And not discuss politics or religion once it's been established. We have different views. I think I probably agree and disagree on that. I think that we should be able to have an open conversation even if we don't share the same views. I'm open-minded enough to listen, but I'm also going to tell you that's bullshit, or I'm going to be straight up with you, you know, and I want the same in return. And even if we don't disagree, we can agree to disagree and move on. It shouldn't, for me, it's not going to be a deal breaker. And maybe I can educate you on why I feel the way that I do, and vice versa. Now, if we're not on the same page sexually, then that's a damn problem.
That's a deal breaker?
That could possibly be a deal breaker.
How is it going to be a deal breaker on that note? But you just said that you can...
politics and religious
you can help him and school him, right? And educate him.
His mind
but you ain't willing to educate him
on some of the things that I might be into, it might be a problem. So
I'm very confused. I'm very confused. I'm so confused right now. And I don't usually get confused like that.
You don't usually get
not
confused,
with her. But I'm so confused on this one. She will educate the man on politics. You know what I'm saying?
Just my point of view.
You know. But the fact of the intimacy, you're not.
I'm just gonna give you an example.
You're not educating them.
Yeah, if
so
he
he's supposed to come in already knowing it.
No. If he says, "Listen, I will not go downtown. It's just not happening," then we have a problem. We really don't have anything else to talk about.
But if you're going to educate him on politics, why can't you educate him on that?
That's not something to educate him on because he's already made his mind up. It's something he's not going to do.
Yeah, but he's probably saying that because he probably had a bad experience.
But if he says that's just something I don't do, it's like saying it's over with. You know, that's my opinion. Just like it is definitely a deal breaker for me. But don't fucking judge me.
I'm not fucking judging.
Just like I'm sure you have things that are a deal breaker for you. So, and I think we've discussed this, a few times. In a relationship, aside from politics and religion, what else is a deal breaker? Do you want children?
Yeah.
Okay, so if the person that you're dating isn't interested in that, is that a deal breaker, or is it something that you all can talk about later?
Nah, I want kids, and I want actually like a lot of kids, because I come from a pretty big family. My dad got married later on, and I'm one of 7 now.
Okay.
On my so he married, and I have 5 stepbrothers and sisters, and then 2 half brothers, one on my mom's side, one on my dad's side. But I don't call them like half. We just a gang. Yeah. So I growing up in the house. First of all, it's a lot of kids, and my dad he works construction, so he would be asleep most of the day. He closed the door. We had a whole house to ourselves to just run around, and I think for real that's the only way to grow up. Yeah. Because being an only child is probably not that fun.
Yeah, my son is 30 now. And so that's always been his thing. How come you didn't have any more children? I didn't want a whole lot of children. I thought I did until I had him. Then I was like, this shit hurts. I'm not doing this anymore. And I got my boy. I wanted my first child to be a boy. I got my boy. I felt like there was no need for me to do it again.
My mom said if my brother would have been first, there would have been no me. Because he was a trip. Pregnancy was harder. He's just a difficult kid. So I would have never been born if he was first. Yeah. So I could get that.
Yeah, and then my son only has one. And I think my granddaughter has a sister on her mom's side, but now she's rallying for her father to have another kid. So it is hard being the only child, but then, he had cousins, but he says mine's not the same. So, yeah. I think I was fortunate because, we had a nice sized family, and I didn't feel that loneliness that an only child would feel. So, yeah. So what else is a deal breaker in a relationship for you?
So, I said you gotta be about the black stuff. If my family doesn't like you, specifically my father, that's a deal breaker. Because I'm really close to my family, so if they don't like you and I'm always with them, so I gotta duck them to go hang with you. No, that's not gonna work. Okay. Deal breakers.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
So what's your max age of dating a guy?
Right now, probably 28.
Okay.
I think 28 is pretty.
Is 30 a deal breaker?
Yeah, any older than 28, my father would probably be hold up. But also 30 just seems and I also got a lot of stuff to do. And if you 30, you probably trying to get married right away. And I'm 23. I'm not trying to do all that right now. I haven't even graduated.
What's your lowest age?
23. Yeah. I mean, because dudes are childish, especially, and if you an actual child, you 20, we're not gonna be on the same page. And then anybody born in like 2000 that's 18, nah.
Yeah.
You gotta have a real old soul, or just be like live through some things and be like mature. But that for me to date under that, that's
Mm-hmm.
So ain't no more deal breakers. That's all.
Not that I could think of right now.
You sure? I can give you one right now. You ain't even said it. That should have been the first.
I would prefer what?
No,
I would prefer somebody from my area. I wouldn't mind dating someone that's like from another city, but it's just easier to like know that like if because I'm planning on like moving back home and like helping out the community. I don't mind staying in Baltimore, helping y'all out for a little bit.
Right.
But it's just
don't
act like y'all need the help.
Just hear what she just said.
Well, she's being honest.
If Hogan's in office, everybody gonna need the help.
Damn right.
So I'm not like, cause I want to teach. I know y'all need teachers. Everybody needs teachers.
That's true.
I will definitely teach up here for a little while, but my goal is to go back home and like live there. But if he's not like family oriented, what were you gonna say? Because now I'm curious.
Yeah, I am too.
So
here we go with the bullshit.
Don't fucking judge me. Anyway, I'm thinking that at 23, one of your what you was gonna say was about a man's hygiene.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
oh yeah.
I just think that's a thing in general. Like you should just want to.
Oh
be
no.
clean.
But not everybody is the same. And I think we just had this conversation.
Hold up.
I think everybody should want to be clean. I thought that was
I
a given.
agree, but it's not.
You would
want to
believe that.
Yeah.
You would want to believe that.
Well, hygiene is definitely height. Honestly, is because I'm like 5'7". I would like somebody taller than me.
Okay.
Like 6'1" at least.
Right.
Height is a deal breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Black is a deal breaker. I don't date
outside,
yeah.
Okay.
My stepmom's actually from Trinidad, so she would prefer me to marry like a foreign man. But that's not necessarily a deal breaker. She'd be like, you got to marry a foreigner like your father. I'm like, I'm from here, right? Like, I'm not actually from Trinidad. So.
Too bad.
She's like, you like the food too much. You got to marry. I'm like, I can't just learn.
Too bad Quiet Storm not here, because Quiet Storm would probably love that
he's from Trinidad. Yeah.
You would love that comment.
Yeah.
But, wow. Okay. Does he have to drive?
Not necessarily.
Because you drive. Okay.
Yeah, I drive, but that don't mean I'm picking you up everywhere. That's not
exactly.
Saying. Everybody's at their own place. As long as I see that you're not driving just because you don't want to drive. Like if you have some, financial issues. Because we're young. Like I get everybody's not gonna have a car.
Right.
It's a luxury. But if you just not driving just because you don't see, like you don't got no ambition and you like the bus. Because don't nobody like the bus, especially when it rains. That's one of the smelliest smells. But, yeah, nah.
Boom. Stop North Avenue.
Yeah, the bus on a rainy day, it's all types of different smells.
That is so true. That is so true. Is that right?
Well, yes.
Oh, well. See, when we having a good time, we go past the time. So I'm going to close out.
No.
Huh?
It's not.
What time is it?
8:06.
You mean to tell me they
don't fucking judge me.
Daylight savings
don't fucking
time
judge me. Listen.
Has been what, a week ago?
Oh, he has back.
His is 9. Yes,
crazy.
and I'm saying to myself, I don't believe that it's been. Thank you. Yeah, man, it's 8. You just fuck my head up with that.
Fuck my head up too.
Because I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think we've been talking this long, and it was just getting juicy. Okay, hygiene is definitely a deal breaker. Believe it or not, the day and age that we live in, I'm always amazed when I come across somebody that's not really strong into hygiene. You sit next to somebody and you say, oh, like, I know you smell it.
Yeah, we too old for that.
Yeah, we're too old
it's
for
too
that.
Much
exactly. Absolutely.
Types of soap. There's no way you should be smelling. Now, if you just played a basketball game, I get that.
That's different.
But
yeah.
also, that would bother me if you play a basketball game and then you don't shower, then you get in the bed. And you
that's a deal breaker.
Yeah, so
straight up.
Yeah, I don't. I don't like.
So that bothers you?
Yeah, I don't like.
Do you rinse the seasoning off of chicken?
What?
When you put seasoning on the chicken?
When you throwing jam
you
mix,
just wash
and
the
I like
seasoning
that.
That is not seasoning. Seasoning implies to taste good. That.
Oh my goodness, that is so funny. I mean, hygiene is definitely important, and if you have an odor, there's no way that you don't know you have an odor. You know, I mean, let's be clear.
That's definitely a deal breaker for you then.
Another deal breaker, if I can't beat you in a fight, like if you can't fight or protect me, that's a deal breaker.
Oh, okay.
Definitely, like if I.
Yeah, I agree.
Can you fight?
I can.
You can hold your own.
Yeah, I can hold my own. I'm not out here.
I'm about to say you from the
DMV. Even if I couldn't fight and I could beat you in a fight, that's even worse. Like if I can't fight,
I agree. I definitely agree with you. I want to know that I have somebody that can protect me. If something jump off and you run away talking about something, that's a problem. I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
And it's funny.
That's a problem.
It's funny you say that because there's a TV. I guess there's a TV show called Bay or Bail.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's funny.
My God, you gotta check it out. And the shit is hilarious. Where there's a lot of couples that comes on the show and they're hit with different things. Like, let's say like if me and you're in a relationship and I know you're scared of something, so I'm a hook up with some people and get you either two things. Either when you get scared, you gonna grab me and say, "Come on," or you gonna haul off and leave my ass. I guess it tells that person if you are with them or you gonna leave them. And there's been a lot of people running their ass off.
That's funny.
And then when it's all over, I'm sorry, baby, I ain't mean to leave you. I ain't mean, no, fuck you. I know how it is and shit go down.
I mean,
fuck that.
Some of those, like there was the one episode with the bear, and the couple sees a bear and then they run off. I don't know what you expect me to do to a bear, but if you saw the bear and I saw the bear, you supposed to.
Was it a real bear? See, I didn't see that. I didn't see that episode. Was this a real bear?
No, they had like a guy in a bear like a realistic bear costume.
Okay.
But if I see the bear and you see the bear at the same time, if you're not running, then I'm gonna break up with you because you stupid. Because you was going, what you gonna do to the bear?
Yeah, you can't do a damn thing with a bear.
If you can't fight a bear as a grown man, I know I can't fight no
bear.
Now I might be able to outrun you, and you can.
Is there a but?
No, there's a but, and I'm gonna tell you the but. The but is, I want to make sure you get the fuck out of there first. I may can hold them off while you get a head start, and then I can probably catch you. You know what I'm saying? But if you fucking haul off and run, and I ain't behind you, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah, why is that a problem? Because if I can't do anything, first of all, when you see me run, you should be running. I mean, isn't that common sense?
Listen, that's the problem that us black folks have. If one black person runs, we start running, don't even know what the fuck we running for. You understand what I'm saying?
You're going to wait to find out?
Exactly. Safety first.
Well, no, I don't want to wait to find out.
That's right.
I don't want to wait to find out.
If you're going to be the hero and wrestle the goddamn bear,
No, but I'm not going to, if I see a bear coming, I'm not going to haul off and leave you.
It was some people that was like, even telling them they saw the bear, so they was
they just laughed.
So that's the problem.
That's I can see that being a problem.
I can't,
if you don't say anything and you just haul off, that's some coward shit. You know, who was that? Yeah, because the Instagram only allows you 1 hour to go live. That's why it ended. So, thank you. I'm on my page live. Who is that? Hi, Kimberly, Lakeisha, and Rob. I'm going to come back at you later on that. I love you too. But yeah, if it's a scenario where, okay, I spot the bear first, I'm going to let you know, hey, let's get out of here. But I'm not just going to up and leave because that's just not, I think that's just not the right thing to do. Now, if you stay there, that's on you.
No, I'm not going to. First of all.
Now, if you gonna take one for the team, I love the hell out you. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta go. But I gotta
I'll put
go.
you on a real nice shirt if you stay. Like, I'll protect you and try to fight the bear. But what you want me to do?
Both of y'all need to get the fuck out of here. Y'all,
But that's honest.
y'all both wrong as shit, man.
I don't think so. I
And
mean,
you look like you look like you get out the door quick.
I'm pretty fast.
Yeah, she seems
Yeah,
fast.
you look like
she seems fast.
And I don't have to be that fast. I just got to be able to outrun you.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he gonna be wrestling on the ground with the band,
Yeah.
so you can outrun him. I'm just saying.
You
You don't know who I am right now?
Listen, I'm a tall, big guy, but I'm not wrestling no fucking bear. I'm sorry, I'm getting the fuck out of there just like you getting the fuck out of there. I mean,
Yeah, well,
you
if
know.
you ain't in that car by the time I start the engine, you assed out.
And if you're going to fight the bear, can you throw the car keys? Because I don't want to be stuck.
That's that bullshit.
When you fighting the bear.
You know, we enjoyed having you on today, and we know that your time is up right about now. We appreciate you.
I mean, it's about taking one for the team, so...
Why can't I run behind you and hit the remote?
You can do that. I'm just saying, if
No.
you choose
You talking
to
about
fight,
tossing the keys?
if
then.
you choose to fight, just toss the keys. Because
Nah.
I didn't choose to watch you fight.
No,
And
I'm
not
not
just
gonna-
that, I might be
I'm
faster
not
than
fighting
you,
no
so
fucking
I don't
man.
want you to hit the automatic lock. I'm with her. I want you to throw me the keys, because if I'm faster than you, there's no point in both of us getting fucked up.
Yeah, it's not.
If you're not in the car by the time I started, you on your own.
There's no guarantee you don't even make it to the car neither.
Yeah, because you know what?
Anything can happen.
When you
You can trip over a fucking branch.
And that's what I was getting ready to say.
And I'm going to run right past your ass like that's what the
When
fuck
I
you
watch
get.
these
And I'm going to
horror
keep running. I'm
movies,
sorry.
And they always fall. And that does happen. You know, you could be so damn nervous and you trip over some shit. And that's your ass. But okay, once I get up, if you're not in the car by the time I started, it's over with. Peace. You know? I'm going to be calling 911 while I'm driving down the road. Because there's somebody has to be alive to tell the story.
Maybe I'll hit the bear with the car if you throw me the keys. That's a possibility. But if you got the keys, now
Somebody got to tell the story?
yeah, I can.
So
hit
what's
the
your
bear.
story going to be?
I was gonna say he was so courageous.
She gonna dress it up.
Yeah,
I can already
for
tell.
you.
Look at her face.
I'm like, he was so courageous. He saw that bear. And he was like, "You get out of here, girl. You go." And I'll be like, "God bless." And he did that for me. I'm gonna tell it as courageous as you want. I'll be like, "I tried to save him. I didn't. I tried to save him." And I told him, "No, come on. Once you say you go," I'll be like, "Say less," and I'm gonna leave. And I'm gonna give the best speech at your funeral.
I can tell. Oh my God,
The
I'm
bullshit
impressed.
smell is real thick in this motherfucker.
So Kimberly says, call 911 and the insurance company.
Mm-hmm.
Good looking out.
Have them on the
Gotta
same
make sure
line.
that policy is up to date. Don't break my shit.
You all about the money, huh? That's why I'm gonna spray
You're
your
gone.
Kimberly.
Do
I'm
you
gonna spray. I'm
understand that? You're
gonna spray
gone.
your ass with meat tenderizer and let them come after your motherfucking ass. Now, how you like that?
I'm just saying. I mean, that's like really,
fucked up, man.
really fast thinking. I didn't think about the insurance policy, but if you're back there and the bad got you, I'm gonna have to make all those calls. You know, but I love you so much for taking one
You
for the
a
team.
motherfucking lie. You a motherfucking lie. I can't even believe. And you pumped up with her.
Yeah, because I like that concept. You know,
That's crazy.
I really do feel like if
that's
you're
crazy.
not in the car, by the time the car starts, your ass is gone.
That's crazy. I'm getting my ass mauled. And the only thing you thinking about is, shit, I'm gonna finally get that truck I want tomorrow. That a bitch. That a bitch.
Yeah,
You know
so
what? That's fine.
I mean, it's
I'm glad to know how our relationship is. Man, I'm glad to know how our
It's all
relationship
good.
is.
It's all
Don't
good.
let
It's
us
all
don't
good.
let us run into us where there's a bed. You got your heels on.
I'm not gonna be in.
I'm
no
getting the
place where
fuck
there's no
out of
bear.
there.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I'm not gonna put myself in a position to where I'm in bear country. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. I don't need that kind of drama in my life. So, yeah, that's. I think that it probably depends on different scenarios. It's just like if I'm in the Everglades, you know, I'm in a boat going across the water, and I see a goddamn alligator. That engine is gonna be revved up. Some people might fall off the boat, but that's not my concern.
Yeah, I don't crocodile infested water.
You really stronghold that song, Me, Myself, and I.
It's not just me, myself, and
Yeah,
I.
it is.
But if you fall into the water, what the fuck can I do with an alligator or a crocodile?
They swim.
At least let me hold on while you revving up the
Did
fucking
you see
boat.
how
You can
tall
do
they
that.
are when they stand up?
You can hold on, but
You ain't holding
What
on.
I'm saying is- no.
Because he gonna slow me down if he's holding on.
see now, okay. So the boat.
Okay, so I just want everybody to know that was a weight joke. That was a weight joke, and that was shade.
It's no
That was shade and a weight joke.
It's fact. Anybody that's
Fuck.
holding on to the side of the boat, big or small, is
If you revving that engine,
is
I can hold the
preventing
fuck on.
me from moving forward. You're slowing me down so that the alligator can eat me. I'm just saying.
I hope you got
Then
some.
you had something to say on
I
that.
was gonna ask, so because you seem like you're getting upset. What's some more deal
He's
breakers?
not upset.
Because you obviously don't want to be left with the bear. So
Hell
that
no.
that's a deal breaker for you. She leave you with the bear. That's a deal breaker.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he pretty much
Because
terminated
I'm not-
the
I'm-
relationship
no.
once he got ate up by the
No,
bear.
listen, no, because
You just broke up with me.
don't let her come in here and bring her baby home.
Okay, my bad. I lost my head for a minute.
Don't let her bring her baby home.
I did.
She's only 23.
I jumped
Okay?
teams.
Don't let her come in here and bring her baby home. One night of pleasure will fuck our shit up, okay?
Well, I
Fuck
said
outta
I
here.
wanted to make light. You know, we.
'Cause I'm
started
not
out
gonna do that.
serious, So,
I'm not
yeah.
going to, I'm not going to risk your life, and I don't want you to risk my life so you can get fucking free. Come on. You seen the show. They get scared. The true ones, they dragging them. That's bae. The fake ones, they hauling off.
Well,
So what if she
They
tripped?
get the fuck out of there, huh?
Just
If she
afraid.
tripped, so if y'all both run, she's like, "Babe, come on," and then she tripped. You gonna pick her up?
Yes, yes.
She break her ankle. You carrying her?
Still gotta, we gotta
He
get the
would.
fuck out of there.
He would.
Okay.
We gotta get the fuck out of there.
That's good. That's good.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna whack his ass with a stick, and then come and hoist your ass over my shoulder. We gotta get the fuck out of there.
You better than most.
I'm not gonna let you get fucked up and mauled and eaten. You feel what I'm saying? Fuck that. No.
Well,
Who gonna make the sandwiches?
is that why you're saving her? Because you need somebody to make the
Yeah,
sandwich.
they're like,
So that's
Well,
He's
easy.
serious about that.
they're
He's
like, I don't
serious
know.
about
I don't know.
Like I had to save you sandwich. I mean, bae.
No, I'm saying
Yeah,
I'm not gonna leave anybody
distract
who.
the bear.
Listen, what I'm saying is that show is funny. Don't get me wrong. It's funny. You
I
gotta
gotta
say
check it out. Okay.
It's funny, but at the same token, it shit has you to think.
Do they
Like,
really have your back?
Do you really got my fucking back?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? That's like,
But is it fair to judge somebody? Because let me just say this.
and I think
A
that's a
bear-
deal breaker.
A
I'm
bear
sorry.
is a bear.
Yeah, a
So
bear's a
is it fair to judge me because I decided that I was going to run from the bear? Is it fair to judge me on that? Am I supposed to fucking stand there?
No, what you're supposed to say is, baby, that's a bear. Run. Not
Yeah,
you. Not
definitely.
no.
Yeah,
I don't just
but-
sneak off.
Not no.
Exactly,
Not you take
exactly.
off running
I'm
and
gonna be
yelling.
saying it while
Bear!
I'm running.
That's not what we
And by the
said.
time I turn around, this motherfucker like, you here? Hey man, you ain't give me time to run. You ain't gonna let me run.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's switch it from a bear to like an axe murderer or something. Cause the bear, I can't do nothing for a bear. Maybe the
Yeah.
axe murderer, I can help you.
Okay, you've seen that episode too.
So I would.
So are you running first, or you grabbing me
I
and
would
we
grab
running?
you.
Yeah.
See, axes, I can't probably, like an axe is something that's easier to outrun than a bear. Like, it's not like a gun that's going to chase you like a bullet. But like an axe murder is not nearly as, we could jump them. Honestly.
Yeah.
We get 2 sticks, we could jump them.
Not if that motherfucking chainsaw running.
Oh yeah, the chainsaw, But see, the chainsaw
But they
is
can't.
easy.
Yeah, it's not like they can throw it like they could the axe. You know what I'm saying?
And you can
has
hear
to
it
be
coming.
yeah,
It's heavy.
Exactly.
Chainsaw's not light. So I think if it's a chainsaw, we could jump them. It's actually worse if we split up, because...
First of all, if me, listen, if me and you together, and I know you and you know me, our instincts should kick in at the same fucking time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen that episode where they went into the building and they thought they was getting their pictures taken. There was a man's picture on the wall, and I guess he was the owner of the building. He said in his will to always put my picture up. Mm-hmm. So the skit was when the lights go out, they turned the picture around where the picture is now blank. The lights come back on. He's not on the picture no more. Now he's coming from out of the smoke. You know what I'm saying?
That's too
When that shit happened, first thing I'm thinking is, let's get the fuck out of here.
Definitely.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Use your cat eye. You know what I'm saying? use your cat eye. Use your cat eye. Look for any bright light or light on the door or something when we're walking towards that shit. I'm not going to just stand.
Like, what's that?
Right, exactly.
That's a deal breaker. If you're like, what's that?
Yeah.
Then
I'm
that's
sorry.
something like, oh, so you don't know. You don't know how to. You don't have.
Are you a quick reflexer?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so half the time you probably really got to worry about it because if somebody gets you, if somebody scared you before,
yeah.
Have you turned around and slapped the shit out of them?
Not slapped them too, like, but I definitely at least jumped or like hit them or something.
Exactly.
So I'm not going.
That's what you want. Somebody who.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they had one where the woman passed the fuck out.
Oh yeah, no. See, that's not.
I see you doing that shit.
But I think it
I
depends
see
on
you
what
doing that shit. You pass fuck right out.
Somebody like Jason come, and they catch me off guard. Yeah, I don't know if I want to pass out. I'm probably going to run, but I don't think I'll pass out. It just depends on the situation. If it's a goddamn... I'm afraid of spiders. I'm like terrified of spiders.
Yeah, I don't like bugs.
And yeah, I don't either. So if it's a large spider that
like bugs?
No, I can't. Oh my god, I can't stand them. And yeah, I might, if one jump on me, I might pass out or something because I'm terrified.
And it's funny because the one episode, the woman got scared and she called out her husband's name as she's running down the hallway. When she found out it was a joke, she clearly said, "I ain't even gonna lie, I peed in my pants."
Okay. I mean, sometimes you don't know what kind of reaction you're gonna have. So yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. But it goes to show because some of them skits I was looking like. Yeah, they gonna be divorced. They ain't even gonna be together after that. They ain't gonna be. I mean, like you clearly was like getting the fuck out of there. So it just. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, actually, if we walking down the street and you hear a gunshot, it ain't gonna take a genius to know we need to get the fuck out of here. We running.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I mean, a monster jump out. And I'm like, and I look, and you already down, UMBC, that's a fucking problem.
But wait, let me just ask a question because the shit changes when it's a monster. What the hell am I supposed to do?
About the monster, yeah.
Yeah.
I get your attention.
Grab me. Anything that you pulling when you're running, it may be continued. But if you grab me and then you decide you want to let go,
as I'm running,
fuck
yo.
that. Huh? See, she talking about something every fucking time.
I'm saying, wait a minute, if you see me moving, that means you need to be moving.
I don't see you moving. I don't see you move. If you see it before me, you take off running, I turn around and he's right there, and I turn around and you already down 2 blocks, that's a fucking issue.
You move too slow. I tried to warn you. I kicked the rock over there by you.
Kick the rock.
So I'm just saying, go with me on this.
She's telling us so.
Right. I made the signal. It's not my fault that you didn't hear it. But it doesn't, exactly. It doesn't make sense.
When did you give that sir?
When I'm in the car. No, I'm kidding.
No, you ain't lying. You lying about
No,
that.
like
She's truthful as shit.
I think you roll
Roll the window a little bit, be like, psst, psst, psst.
Now, is this before you start blasting the music or what?
Yeah.
See, because if you're blasting the music, he's not going to hear this.
I'm not going to blast the music because then the monster going to hear me.
It's not going to get you, though. I'm just saying.
Well, we see that both of these motherfuckers clearly will just leave my motherfucker.
No, I'm not saying that. It depends on the
all for
distance.
myself.
If I see the monster and it's a good distance from us, I'm going to say, yo, come on, let's go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah, we got to go.
You
Now, if you
go
start to ask
You ain't
me,
gonna say
because
no, you.
let me tell you something. Because he's long-winded, and he'll start asking questions. What's up, Queen? What's going on? By the time he asks me all that,
Dead.
the monster done took a bite out of his ass.
First of all, that's a
It's
bold-faced
not.
fucking
You
lie.
are
Queen.
long-winded.
Queen, that is listen. There has never been a time where you was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, Queen, what do you see, Queen? What is
Well,
that
let
going
me give
on,
you
Queen?
an example since we're talking
Yeah,
about
let's talk
this,
about this shit.
Because when we did a show at Corinthians, and he got distracted.
Get the fuck out of here,
It
man.
wasn't a monster.
Get the fuck
When
out
it
of
was a
here.
monster, they left me. He got distracted by the hot wings. Rich got distracted by something else. And they left me with a group of guys. And one guy decided that he was going to sneak a kiss. So I felt like they didn't protect the queen.
The show was over.
The show was over,
The guy
and they
didn't
was
pose
distracted.
no fucking threat. He was sitting there talking to
kissed
you.
me. I
He was
wasn't
sitting there
interested.
talking to you at first. I didn't want to get in between them. And then the next thing you know, I turn my back to sniff these hot wings. And then you say that he tried to kiss you. Any fucking thing can happen.
Let me clear this
What'd
up.
you do?
He did kiss me. I said, but by that time, his lip had brushed against mine, and I was like,
But
I'm
she had
surrounded by guys,
But
and
she
my
had got
men's
them
and
wounded
them
up.
was nowhere
That's
in
the
That's
part.
sight.
not wounded
Yeah,
up.
that's the
How
part
did
she
she
ain't
do
talking
that?
about.
How? I
She was
mean, my
talking about-
show is
she was
about
talking about-
intimacy,
no, she was
so
talking
that
about-
doesn't give him the right to
Listen,
kiss me
she not gonna
because
dog me. She was talking to these guys about fellatio, talking about,
that
you
thing's-
know,
she want me to kiss her?
rubbing their prostates.
And that's
shit.
what I'm saying.
You know,
that doesn't
massaging their
say,
balls and all that.
she's
So
interested.
she got
Say
him-
his personally?
Huh?
His personally? She was
She
like,
said
you,
it-
sir.
The guys that was in the midst. She
No.
had
And
all
were
of,
we not
she had
doing
all
a
of them
show?
rounded up.
Was we doing a show?
She had on a three-piece pink.
You are part of the problem,
Shoes,
sir.
Dress, skirt, the whole nine. She was real pinked up, okay? And she talking real sexy to these guys, you know, questioning
But
them
if
and
that's
different
what the
things
show
like
Was
that.
I talking
So-
to them personally, or was I doing a show?
He must have felt like he was talking.
Exactly, and that's the reason
But
why
that
he
don't
wanted
just-
to
I
flip
I
this
don't
shit.
have any control over
I
how
can't
somebody
control
feels.
if the guy was. I didn't know if I knew the guy was going to do that. I swear to God, if I knew the guy was going to do that, then I would have just stayed there. When the show was over, I got up and to go attend to my wings. The show's over,
That's my point.
so she has to do what she has to do because she's the queen. You know, so somebody got questions or whatever. So when the guy sat next to her, I looked. He was just talking,
Was he ugly?
but then
He wasn't
She said-
ugly, but
He
that's
wasn't.
besides the
see,
point.
I'm
that's
just
not a
saying-
deal breaker.
I'm not saying that. No.
Are looks a deal breaker for you?
No, I'm not one that's. I think for me it depends on how the person treats me. I'm not really big on looks because I think that when I was younger, yeah, but the age I am now, it's not a deal breaker. But I'm gonna talk about this shit
no,
because
I understand what you're saying.
it doesn't, because I have
Okay.
a show on intimacy. That doesn't give somebody a right to come up to me and kiss me because of what I'm talking
I
about.
didn't know that the man
And
was
it
going to kiss her
doesn't
automatically.
matter what I have on, because again, that doesn't give you the right to. And I think that that's an immature man's way
it ain't
of
no man's
thinking.
way. It ain't
You're
no-
goddamn
She
lying.
She was looking
That has
very
nothing
hot
to do with
to
it.
these guys.
Mm-mm,
She was
I'm
looking
not
very
taking
hot,
that.
pretty hot and
Mm-mm.
tempted. Okay, so for the guy to come up to her and want to give her a kiss, it was out of the blue. We didn't know that was going to happen. He waited until we departed.
Yeah, he
Away
wanted to
from
try
her.
it if they was around you.
Exactly.
But let's go back to the
So-
hot
so
wings,
am I
because
blamed?
he's
Am I blamed? I hadn't
specifically
eaten all
said-
fucking day. So am I blamed for
so
that?
he sold me out for some goddamn hot wings. And Kimberly, you're absolutely right. I could have been naked during the show and no touching, period.
How many wings was it?
Doesn't matter how many wings it was. The man.
That's a good size thing.
The man
It
brushed
wasn't
his
a 5
lips.
piece.
It wasn't no 5.
You understand?
Listen, I don't do less than 5. I'm sorry. Anything less than 5, that's just a teaser. But what I'm saying is, we had already, the show was over and people was just coming to us, shaking their hand, different things like that. So I went to tend to my food or whatever.
And I didn't see it coming, and I'm gonna be honest. We were talking. I was talking to a couple of the other guys, and he said, "Oh, you're so fine," and he just turned. I happened to turn around, and he said,
and he did it so quick.
That's
He
nasty.
did it so quick.
That is so
Exactly,
nasty.
and I'm like, "Oh my God!"
So it ain't, it ain't like I left her. You know what I'm saying?
But you did. That's the part. You like them people on that show that y'all was just talking about.
Wait a minute. So if that's the case, that means I'm gonna have to follow. When we go to Corinthians, that means I'm gonna have to stay with you all times. Means I'm gonna have to follow you. I'm gonna have to follow you to the bathroom.
It's just like that night we was out in the parking lot and you was looking at the girl with the loose booty or whatever, and
you ain't gotta look like that. I'm a man. I'm not supposed to.
But listen, the guy, they walked me out. He got distracted by the big ass, and then the comedian came over and wanted to talk. Now, I'm very friendly. I don't have a problem talking to anybody, but because I talk to you doesn't mean I'm interested. Mm-hmm. And I have to stress that a lot of times.
All the time.
All the time, because we always seem to have an incident. But my point is, the comedian walked out. At first I thought we all walked out together, but then I looked and I'm just standing there with this guy and he's talking and talking and talking, and I'm like, okay, good night. I think Rich came over because somebody else was distracted, with the girl with the tight pants and her shit jiggling and all that. So my point is, when we go off site to do different things, somebody's always probably going to try their hand because of the topics that we discussed. But I need to know that my team, that's right, team, has my back.
You gotta get a taser or something just for,
Yeah, I think
up.
Mark gave me I think I do have a taser. Mark gave me one. I'm gonna tase his ass.
Oh.
Because
let the bear get you. Just leave you on the ground.
I'm not gonna give him a warning. Hi, Cecil. But yeah, I think that you always have to be mindful of that because of the topics that we talk about. I think that sometimes people mistake friendly for interested, and a lot of times I think
especially if they're not getting it at home.
That's what I was getting ready to say. If they're not used to a woman being nice to them, and you make eye contact with them, sometimes they feel like, oh, she wants me, So it's like you kind of have to reiterate that. I think I've said that when we've done a couple of shows. Listen, I'm just friendly. I'm not interested. But somebody will still feel like, let me try my hand. So, yeah. It doesn't matter. I swear, I think when I give them the look, Kimberly, I think that turns them on even more.
You're like, oh, she mean.
Yeah, I like that. Let me break her down, so.
I ain't seen that look since 65.
Exactly. A woman ain't look at me like that in a long time. So, yeah, I mean, you have to be mindful of that because I do realize that not all men are used to kindness from a woman.
You been there.
I just think it's wild that if somebody's just bare minimum nice to you, mm-hmm. now it's got to go anywhere further. Like, you've never had any friends. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We can be friends, have a relationship that's not romantic, and me be nice to you. That doesn't automatically mean that I like you.
Yeah.
And because I think, like, nowadays, people seem to think everyone has, like, hidden intentions. If they're nice to you, mm-hmm. either they want something from you or they want you. And that's not the case. You can just be a genuinely nice person.
Yeah.
But I get that too. Like, even if if a guy's like going smack at you, like trying to talk to you, and like say you at the metro station, mm-hmm. and he says, how you doing? And usually they don't get an answer. So even if you say, I'm good, they're like, oh, so she wants to talk now. No, I'm just being polite. You ask me a question, how you doing? I'm good. They be like, oh, you got a boyfriend? No. Oh, so she first of all, she didn't lie and say yes. So now she definitely must want you. No, I just don't have to lie to you.
Exactly.
And then just because I don't have one doesn't mean I'm looking for you.
That I'm good means don't fucking talk to me.
Yeah, you can say I'm good, but I'm saying like if you so like my parents told me like, especially if it's an older person on the street, you and it's the morning time, you speak. If you passing them, you say how you doing, good. So if you just walking past and you say how you doing, I'm gonna say I'm good. And also I like my grandmother, all my parents are like from the South, so it's rude to not speak.
Absolutely.
So me just speaking does not automatically mean I want to talk to you. We don't have to have or even if we having a conversation. If we waiting for the bus, I used to take 3 buses when I went to community college to get to school. So we'd be sitting there for about an hour. If I'm gonna be sitting next to you on the bench, yeah, we can have a little conversation. You like, oh, you go to school? Oh yeah, I just came from this class. Yeah, that don't mean okay. Now we boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like it's just people need to have higher standards for what like just me talking to you and being nice.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think women are guilty of this too. If a guy says hello to you, you might get an attitude and might not want to speak because you assume that he wants to hit on you.
Yeah, definitely.
So it works both ways. I will say hello. Now, if you start asking me questions, I'm going to fucking get annoyed. You know what I'm saying? I will say hello. I'm doing fine. If you start to ask me, so how is your day going? I'm not doing that with you because then I begin to think, where are we going with this? You know, you say hello, how you doing?
That's
I'm
what
doing
you
fine.
Like,
it's
why do you
never proved me. No one has ever proved me wrong with that.
I've asked you how your day going.
I don't count you. So, I'm just saying.
Damn.
I mean, even when you start to think about social media, I have people from all over that are on my Instagram page. So, but you all say if somebody likes your picture 5 or 6 or 7 times, they're interested. I'm not on there for that, so I really don't give a damn about that. And I think that isn't that a thirsty assumption?
Yeah, I feel like social media and like online dating has its own new language that not everybody knows yet. Especially like older generation.
Certainly I don't.
Yeah, so like if somebody like likes like so if they just add you and they like your most recent pictures, that's not a necessary telltale sign. But if they go back like 280 weeks,
right,
that
exactly,
means that they like you.
Exactly.
So it's a whole science to it that a lot of people don't know, or it's like it's being made up on the spot since it's so new. Another thing, if they DM, I feel like a DM that is used to like talk to you, or if they're just trying to like have sex, if you smoke, you trying to smoke. Yeah. Like that's the.
So is that the opening to sex? Do you smoke?
You trying to smoke? I just feel like if a dude is asking you if you trying to smoke, they don't want anything other. Now, I've had conversations with my guy friends and my cousins that they say that's not necessarily the case. They just like smoking. Okay. But I'm not going to take the chance. Like, and then you'll be like, well, you smoke my weed, so now that's not.
Now you owe me something.
Yeah, so it's not. So I just some lines like, or you trying to chill, stuff like that is just like red signs that's what they looking for. Basically.
Exactly, and like when I used to date, and my girlfriends, we would go out, and I had one friend that always wanted a guy to buy her a drink. I always had a problem with a man buying me a drink because I don't owe you shit. I take my own money so that I don't have to face that. Because I think that a lot of times that when people buy you a drink, they assume, and I'm not saying all men before somebody starts sending me all these goddamn messages. I'm saying that some men think once they buy you a drink that you owe them time.
Yeah, or that since you took it, you're interested.
Exactly, and it doesn't mean that. So when a guy asks, is it all right if I buy you a drink? I'll say thank you, but no thank you, because I don't want you to assume shit. You know, we live in a different time right now, so it's a lot of strange things going on. I used to speak to this guy every morning, and what I didn't realize, he told his girlfriend, "Oh yeah, she'd be coming on to me real hard." All I was saying, and my son was a little boy then, so it would be me and my son. All I was saying was, "I'm doing fine, thank you for asking," or "hello." That's it. He said I was coming on to him hard. So that's the time. So I'm mindful of that. I think that people's perception is different. So I try to be cordial so that you're not assuming, but again, I don't have any control over what people think. So you got something you want to say?
No, I mean I don't. I've never. I don't know.
So when you buy a woman a drink,
I knew that question was coming. I knew that question was coming because I was going to justify that. I mean, if I buy a woman a drink, then obviously I must be interested in wanting to get to know her. But other than that, I'm not buying no drink.
He's cheap, so he's not buying a drink.
I'm not cheap. I just rather come over to you and try to talk to you first and get to know you. And then if it goes
to
there,
see
then
if she's worthy of a
see
drink.
if she worth the
then
drink.
I'll buy her a drink. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't keep throwing me out there on cheap. And Arnetta, let's get something straight, Arnetta. I'm the only security that she got. I've been here for going on 3 years, been her security.
Quiet
So
Storm is my security.
wings don't mean nothing to me
So
when it comes to
basically
this
what
one.
he's saying is wings trump my safety.
No. No. At the point in time.
Don't stutter.
At the point in time, I was hungry. Damn it! I don't say nothing when you get to your hungry fest and you put everything to the side. Okay. When you damn near biting your fingers
I
off.
don't have
I don't
to
say
protect
nothing to you.
y'all. I'm
Okay?
the woman in the group.
Huh?
I don't have to protect
And
y'all.
you already feel protected anyway. I'm here regardless, no matter what. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody already knows where I stand. And if you don't know, now you know.
So
Now.
another deal breaker. What's another deal breaker for you?
You gotta be funny, because I
Okay.
consider myself pretty funny.
Yeah.
So if you can't make me laugh, that's not gonna work. And if you don't think I'm funny, that's probably
Okay.
not gonna work. But funny.
So you think you're funny?
Yeah,
Tell
I
the
think I'm
truth.
pretty funny. So that's not. I have more organic. You know what I'm saying? Just it flows. I can't just be like, why did
Put
you
on the
cross
spot
it? Yeah,
like
like
that, yeah.
I know, yeah. But I'm pretty funny. Yeah, you gotta be. I talk a lot, so I would prefer somebody that's gonna talk with me and not just quiet.
Okay.
One of the things my dad does, especially to my stepmom, but he does it to me too. Like I'll be talking, and you could tell he's not really listening. He'll be like, "Oh yeah," like you telling the story, be like,
No,
like,
I think
he's
that's
listening.
a man.
No,
I
He's
swear,
listening.
I think
Not.
that's a man thing. I'm
Right.
just
He'd
saying.
be like, "Get out." Oh yeah. He got like 3 phrases he says. My stepmom, he'd be like, "Baby, guess what happened at work? You know, Regina at work. She went to the store, right? And then she got this, that." He'd be like, "Oh yeah." She'd be like, "Yes." And then he'd be like, "Word." I could tell he's not really listening. But I would prefer.
If you think he's not listening, do a test on him. Say something like, "Man, she went to the store and she pulled out a gun." If he says, "Oh yeah," then you'll be like, "No, you really
He's not
weren't
listening.
listening."
Yeah.
I just
If he say what, then you know he was listening.
good conversation. You can't be dry. You can't just
Yeah.
be like asking me what am I like. If we're texting, you can't be like, "What you doing?" every 10 minutes.
Because there's no substance
Yes,
in that
yeah.
conversation.
Is that a deal breaker to you? You ever had somebody text you and they're not fully texting you? They texting you them slangs.
Nah,
Like,
that's fine. It just
oh, okay.
it depends. Like a pet peeve of mine is if they like capitalize every word. I just think that's a lot. I don't know.
Because they're yelling. I
Yeah.
mean,
Or
because
like,
I didn't know that, and then my son had to kind of like hit me to that.
You mean full
All caps.
Either all caps
all
or
caps.
if they take the time to capitalize every word, because that's something that people used to do when they were younger, or if they still use like the younger slang, not like there's a certain way people used to text, like they used to spell like YHU for some reason. That was like a younger thing.
I did see, but I didn't know what the hell that was about.
Yeah, so if you still text like we were in 8th grade, then I can't. That just probably means you childish. I don't know. There's a little bit of little pet peeves I would be annoyed with, but deal breakers definitely funny. I think being able to dress is a pretty good one because I feel like I dress pretty well, and if you can't like match me, or if you're not willing, I also don't want to feel like having to like dress a grown man. But like if you can't dress pretty well, or we can go out looking nice together, that's gonna bother me.
What about cooking?
Cooking is not that big of a pet peeve because I can cook, and my parents, well, my like father, my stepmom, and my grandma are pretty traditional. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he couldn't cook. I would prefer him to be able to, but if he can't, that's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. Yeah.
What are you known for cooking? A lot of your Trinidad food? Or?
Nah, I can't cook a lot of Trinidad food yet, but I cook a lot of like soul food. I can fry. I don't eat pork anymore, but I could fry some mean pork chops.
Okay.
So stuff like that, I can.
Pork chops. Wow.
I haven't even. I was just sitting here thinking the same thing.
Like I make pretty good salmon, stuff like that, healthier stuff I'm trying to eat now. But if he doesn't feel like he needs to provide, like if he's lazy and don't have no ambition, I couldn't do that.
Is it a deal breaker if he doesn't have communication with his parents?
See, it depends on why. My family is really important to me. I would like for you to be, as long as there's like a good reason why you're not close to your parents. I don't know, maybe your mother sold you at birth, something crazy like that, or if something that like y'all have bad blood, something like that, that's not, but I would prefer you to have a good relationship with your family, because the way a lot of my family is, you can't tell who's related to who when we all get together.
Okay.
It's just a big family, and like everybody's like really communal. If I go to your parents' house, your family's house, and it's like Game of Thrones, people staring at each other, and it's real tense. I can't. I can't deal with that. So a good relationship with your family is good. Now, if you don't cut them off, but you willing to be accepted into my family, that's cool too. But if you also got to think about if he's the problem. Like maybe they cut him off and he's like, oh, he be tripping, you know.
Right.
But
that's
if
true.
I find out you the one that's been stealing from everybody or something like that, then that's a no go, because they cut you off, not the other way around.
Right. I think you can learn a lot of who a person is by their interaction with family.
Especially men, how they treat their mothers.
Exactly. So, yeah.
That is true.
Well, we're going to wrap up. Where can people find you? What are you working on?
So I am on social media. I have Twitter and Instagram. It is like the VU, VU, because my name is Deja Vu, like the VU. So like the VU, straight, no underscores, any of that on Twitter and Twitter and Instagram.
Okay.
I'm going to be starting up a couple of projects like media wise. So I'll be doing a couple of like skits and videos and stuff that'll be coming soon. So if you follow me on social media, you'll have updates on that. And yeah, appreciate the support, guys.
And definitely, when you are working on your project, send me the information so that I can post it as well. So I thank you so much for your time. I thank each and every one of you for tuning in. I know we've been gone for a couple of weeks. There's been a lot of things going on, but we're back now. So tune in. We'll be back next Monday, and I will post the details Thanks again. You have final thoughts before I close this thing
No
out?
thoughts, man. We'll close it up.
Good night, y'all. I love y'all for being so supportive. Thanks again. Have a great evening.
Deuces.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, it is hot in here.
Yes, I'm like, man, I know I'll be having private summers, but goodness gracious.